you're fighting El Kukui next, correct?
Yep, Tony Ferguson.
And I bet you've dreamed about this fight. I bet you've watched him for years.
I have, yeah. I go back to those last couple contracts I signed with Bellator, wanting to kind of go to the UFC, but it just never felt like the right time. The door never opened, and it just didn't feel right in my soul to go. When I did, it felt absolutely perfect, and I came right at the right time. And Tony Ferguson was actually the first name that was brought to us, and they offered it to Tony, and he said no. Oh. Then they brought it to Poirier. He said no, which completely makes sense to me. I was a newcomer, kind of no-name guy from outside the UFC, and they knew I was going to be a tougher test than most people thought. So I've been looking forward to this Tony fight for a long time.
Well, that says a lot about you. You're being very humble right now. The fact that Dustin the Diamond Poirier said no and El Kukui said no, they didn't want to fight you. I mean, you're being very humble. I was a no-name guy. They didn't want to fight you for a reason. There's a reason. Yeah,
well, that's the thing. The fighters knew who I was. The hardcore fans knew who I was. But the risk versus reward in a sport, in a lightweight division inside of a sport that is so competitive, the what have you done for me lately business, truthfully, if I was them, it would have been a tough decision to fight some guy from outside the UFC. So it completely makes sense. That's why I always tip my hat to Dan Hooker being the highest ranked guy that I could find that would actually say yes to fight me. And everybody in this lightweight division is a stud. They are all champions. So it's a great division to be a part of, and Tony's next, and then we'll see what happens after that.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I mean, I don't want to go too deep in this, but I can look in your eyes and I know that you're going to beat this guy. I hate to say that, and I'm not being disrespectful to him. He's a legend.
This is a fight that I'd be very disappointed in myself if I didn't go out and finish him or put on such a dominant performance to continue to solidify myself as one of the top guys. I think I argued on that same night, you got Justin Gaethje fighting Charles Oliveira for the title, both guys who I have fought. The whole sport of mixed martial arts, once, all the fans would love to see me run it back with either of those guys. So I think I go out there, run through Tony, and I position myself for either a big fight this summer if Conor comes back and wants to fight me, or I fight the winner of Oliveira Gaethje sometime in October, November, December, and get the title that has been too elusive thus far.
I don't want to put any pressure on you, but I'm putting $1 million on you. No pressure whatsoever.
No pressure. I hate that is one of the things that has opened up my mind big time. Going to the UFC, obviously everything is bigger, a lot more fan interaction, a lot more people talking about you. The amount of people that talk about betting on my fights, I got to admit, it makes me a little bit uncomfortable because we're fighting in 4-ounce gloves against the toughest SOBs in our division. It's crazy.
El Kukui is a lunatic in just the right way. He is a Hall of Famer. He is a legend. And this is your time. And I know it's going to be your time. And by the way, I'm Jewish, so I won't be giving away my money. I'm very, very tight with my money. And by the way, the last time I bet on a fighter, and this is true, Anthony Rumble Johnson, hands of stone, right? He was fighting DC, and DC said, you better bring your lunchbox because I'm going to drag you into deep waters and you're going to tap. That's exactly what he did. I lost a great deal of money. I was crying like a grandmother. Anthony Rumble Johnson started crying as well, retired, and went into the weed business. So, sir, I will not be betting on anyone, not you or anyone.
Thank you. I appreciate that because that's just too much pressure for me. All right. I don't want to end up as one of your stories on your podcast.